Good afternoon and welcome to Apex Racing TV. Alex Simpson and Conrad Venter, as you already know, because we were happily chatting away about everything in the background there and unmuted, so it's been a rough night, a rough morning. I'm sure this is going to be a great race though. Overcast conditions, Conrad, Interlagos. Everybody was worried about that hot track temperature and being a problem in the in turn number 3 and the downhill left-hander, but that's not going to be the case today. The track conditions should mean that the guys are able to really scream the car through those corners without too much worry that right rear is going to break loose on them.
Yeah, we've got a nice cool temperature, only 25 degrees, but then again, as we've seen in many series on iRacing, it's the first lap at least on the cold tires and these cold cooler conditions. That corner will still pose a problem to them.
Right, where are we? Got quite a small grid today. 17 drivers out there. There's only 2 splits, so I think the track obviously it's a great track to drive, but it is very, very challenging, and I think that's probably put a few people off wanting to do this race today. I think we've seen that throughout the season now. The tracks that are tough, just the numbers seem to drop just a little bit. But all the people really trying to go for it are here. So Slavan Yatsenko is in there. We've got Daniel Winsin, Marin Kolak obviously jumping in. WCS driver Diego Oliveira as well. Justin Hope. So a lot of the main names. Kevin Ellis Jr. All those that are trying to go for the championship.
Yeah, and we've got Slava Yatsenko is here as championship leader, and the big thing about him is he's only got 7 weeks counted at the moment, whereas nearest competitor Ruslan Sabitov is already on 8 weeks.
Yeah, I was just going to quickly bring up the table, see what's going on there, while everybody else is just setting their qualifying time. There's just a few cars circulate. Yep, can't speak. Going around at the moment. I know what I'm trying to say. You're right. So yeah, Yatsenko, like you say, 7 on 1421. A good race today is going to make him very, very tough to beat. Diego Oliveira, he's about 100 points behind him in 3rd place. So again, he needs a good, strong finish. Last week, obviously, got that victory at Watkins Glen. Got his strategy right, got his fuel right, no issues whatsoever. Vicaro on 7 races as well as Fabrizio Gobbi as well. So 4th and 5th. So a lot of guys haven't raced yesterday. Seem to be just focusing on this one big race on the Sunday.
Yeah, it gives the guys to get in a race and get a little bit of airtime for their teams as well, and it's a bit of promotion. So you understand why some might hold out the last race of their racing week for this particular split.
Right, who have we got still circulating around at the moment? It looks like we've got Yatsenko out there at the moment. He's in 6th, so probably not the qualifying position he wants. Diego Oliveira currently on provisional pole position as well. He's got another lap to go, or he's just doing some practice. I mean, the times, we just bring up the sort of the top 10 at the moment. So 1 minute 10.762. I mean, that is crazy fast. Let's just take a second, as the mini-map's not working. That's a bit of a shame. But yeah, 25 degrees overcast as well. So that track temp's going to be, well, probably what, 26 degrees, something like that. I'm just wildly guessing right now.
Yeah, the ambient and track temperature is exactly the same at the moment. But Diego Oliveira, you're right, with that 1 minute 10.7, it's 2 tenths quicker than anybody else. So it's a really, really good lap from him.
Yeah, in these cold conditions as well, it's quite difficult to feel the extra grip out there. You know, guys will be practicing in maybe default or some of the other dynamic sessions. Could have been a lot hotter to start off with, and you know, when you jump in these cold track conditions like this, there is so much more grip out there. It really does catch you by surprise, and all that happens is, you know, you think you're pushing, and then you go out the next lap and you find another half a second of lap time that you thought probably wasn't there, and you're sort of left wondering, have you left anything more on the table? And I can just think back to the Watkins Glen World Championship race. A lot of the drivers in their sort of post-race reports that they put on the forum was just like, the cold conditions caught them out a little bit in qualifying, and the laps felt good, but just sort of didn't quite give it absolutely everything. And yeah, the driver who can feel the grip just straight away, those are the ones that sort of move themselves to the front. I just think of our own team. Martin stands out for me as the driver who can just seem to nail it straight away. Just seems to feel that grip, and yeah, it looks like Diego has done just that.
So it looks like qualifying is over. I'll just run through the starting order for us. We've got Diego Oliveira taking pole position with a 1 minute 10.7. And second place is we've got Marin Kolak, Justin Hopp in third, Giuseppe Ragusa in fourth, Massi Milano Ficara in fifth place, Slavoj Yatsenko in sixth, Fabrizio Gobi in seventh, Vedran Kroll in eighth, ninth place is Zoran Jonic, 10th place is Daniel Vensing. Got Sebastiano Filosa in 11th, Jorge Martinez in 12th place, Kevin Ellis Jr. in 13th, with Andre Eisenlaw joining him in 7th row in 14th place, Victor Prieto in 15th, Rosalind Sabitov in 16th place, and the one man who didn't post a lap is Vladimir in 17th place. I'm just quickly looking through that grid. Rosalind Sabitov down in 16th place. Really not a great qualifying for him.
No, not at all. And I actually, when you look at that grid and the numbers that people are as well, although the grid itself is quite small, strength of field looks pretty reasonable. So I think this race is going to be worth some good points here. So very, very important for those that can get there. If Oliveira can get a good race here and convert this pole position into a win, then it's going to be yeah, it's going to be extremely helpful to his championship charge. Here we go then. Revs are building. Lights are out here at Interlagos. Seems like a good start from everyone. Marin Kolak just moves himself up and into the lead. Oliveira has to go a little bit wide. That puts him under pressure from the Mivano car there and drops another place. They're already down to third. Disaster start, although he's still in there with a shout.
Yeah, we've got one casualty in turn one. That was Vedran Kroll. I don't know if he got hit or have a look back, but yeah, he spun. He's down to 17th place.
Yeah, unfortunate for Kroll. He's about 3.8 seconds back from the pack, so it's not, it's not all over. But yeah, not the start he's after at all. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a no-stop race here just with these track temperatures, so drivers will be acutely aware of that and probably just settling themselves into a rhythm as quickly as they possibly can. So just try and feel this grip, make sure nothing's going to happen to those tyres. Important to try and move forward. Everybody will be using a lot of ERS right now as well, defending and attacking. Kolak with that lead. He's not going to worry about the DRS, of course, for the first few laps. Although I'm pretty sure Giuseppe will be putting the pressure on with the push to pass button there.
Yeah, we've got a long race today as well. It's 47 laps, so you've got plenty of time to get yourself close enough and make a safe pass instead of trying something silly, especially with such a small field.
Oh, talk about having a good little battle out there. That's Ficara and Yatsenko. Sorry, it wasn't. It was Zoran Jonic just behind his academy teammate there. So good to see those guys going at it, trying to work their way forward. Yeah, and Yatsenko up to 5th place as well. He's just behind Justin Hope there, and Justin just joined, I believe it's Ferenc Kern's team. So those guys teaming up, it would appear. So good to see.
Yeah, it's nice to see on these Saturday afternoon streams as well. The similar liveried cars showing up, and it adds a little extra element to the racing when teammates start working together.
Daniel Wensin obviously been towards the front for quite some time this season, and he's way back down in 8th place at the moment. Of course, worked his way to the front at Watkins Glen, ran out of fuel, and yeah, lost the opportunities for some very, very valuable points. So needs a good race today. He's going to have to work that strategy, try and move his way forward. And you know, the cold temperature, we haven't touched on this as well. It does make fuel more of a concern as well. If you've got your fuel figures sorted out at the start of the race with hotter track temps, then you'll burn more fuel because you can be much more aggressive on the loud pedal. And it's caught a few drivers out in previous weeks, so let's just see if the guys catch that pretty early and make sure that they've added a click or two extra.
It's so easy to forget about the fuel as well. It's something that I've fallen foul with in the Lotus 79 before, and it's so frustrating when you get about 4 or 5 laps from the end and you all of a sudden realise, oops.
Oliveira lining up Ragusa here surely. This time DRS is in effect, of course. You can see the closure speed. Ragusa going defensive on the inside. Oliveira around the outside, late on the brakes for Ragusa. Oh, that's very late. Pushes Oliveira very wide, and Hope spins behind as well. Just saw that unfolding and thought there was 2 places on the off-in. Makes the mistake. Oliveira just running a little bit wide. Oh, it's all yeah, all just kicks off there, and they're basically exactly as they were, except for Justin, who's way down in 10th place now after that little spin.
Justin managed to recover well. He had a Martinez not too far behind him coming out of turn 2, but he managed to keep hold of the position.
Yeah, Yatsenko as well. He was able to avoid that. Everybody really just got through and missed all those cars there, so that's good. Still got all 17 drivers out there running. Vedran Kral was caught up to the back of the pack as well, so 11 seconds separates the whole field right now. Pretty much just the way that the track's all, you know, the spread of the field more than anything. The biggest gap out there is 2.7 seconds, and that's really from the leader to Ragusa right now. And Kolak just putting in another fastest lap of the race. That's a 12.4. Oh, thought for a minute we'd lost Wensin. I think he's got some sort of internet problem. He's dropping in and out as well. Never easy to follow someone when they're like that. But yeah, 12.4 compared to what was Ragusa? 13.6. So 1.2 seconds quicker. Absolutely flying out there right now for Kolak.
Oh, luckily for us, it looks like Venting's gremlins are slowly but surely sorting themselves out, and that'll be a great shame to lose him from the race. 2 bad weeks for him in a row will not go down well.
We haven't seen much of this driver, Sebastiano Veloso. He's been away for a few races, and way down in 9th place at the moment. We've been pretty accustomed to seeing him towards the front, always fighting in the top 5. So it does seem like the field's really sort of evened themselves out as this season's gone on. Of course, we are up to week 8 now. Everybody's used to racing around each other and where they need to be. Races are getting a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, and we're getting used to seeing the same group of core drivers week in and week out as well. And like I say, they get to know each other, and it's almost like it's its own unique little series to a certain extent.
And that's Justin going for a move on Velosa as well. In turn 4, gets that done. Velosa saw it coming, just gave enough room. And yeah, Justin looks very, very quick, it's fair to say. He's got Fabrizio Gobbi ahead of him now, so 1 Movano car down. Another to try and get past. Gobbi's got 1.9 seconds to Wensin ahead, so dropping back, he won't have any DRS to try and defend with this lap. It's going to make him very vulnerable.
How big a part does the tire pressures and the amount of grip you have available in the early stages play when you have cold track temperatures like we do here?
I mean, it certainly does make a difference. I mean, Not hugely. I mean, on other cars, oh, Justin, very late on the brakes there. Almost runs into the back of Fabrizio there. He's got a great run out of turn 3. We'll come back to that tyre in a moment. DRS will be open, surely, into turn number 4. He'll get that position again. That's almost a carbon copy of what's just happened. Bobby tries to defend. He's going to be still sort of there, but I think he's got this move well and truly completed. No, he hasn't. He fights back on the inside. That's great driving from both of these. Veloso just lurking in the background, just trying to see if he can get his position back as well. All this battling just is releasing the pack ahead. 3.1 seconds they are ahead now, so it's easy to battle, but sometimes you have to think of the long game. But Justin knows that he's got the pace. He wants to get that position done.
Yeah, the most frustrated man right there in that train must be Sebastian Veloso right now. You can see the two in front of him battling, and the gap in front of them just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh, little jink to the right there with the DRS open can always end very badly. Round the outside of turn 1, gets squeezed. Oh, that was always going to happen. And Gobby around. He's managed to get the car going forward again. I think when you defend, you've got to leave a little bit of room for the driver on the inside there, and when you're on the outside, you're the one that's always vulnerable. And just looking at another little battle as well that was just fizzled out as we join it, and that was Zoran and Ficara. They're still tucked up behind Yatsenko. Yatsenko's got Oliveira ahead of him. Oliveira still not able to get by Ragusa as well.
And a little bit further behind them, we had Kevin Ellis Jr. and Martinez, and having a little go at each other through turn 4 as well. They've settled down now, and they're lining themselves up for another little go in the DRS zone.
Yeah, 3/10 back for Kevin Ellis Jr. Oh, this is absolutely perfect, sort of striking distance. And Marquez doesn't defend the inside. That opens it up for some late braking for Kevin. He does just that. They're still side by side. Oh, that's a little nerf. Oh, Kevin just about holds it through the middle. Oh,
it's gonna go wrong.
That was Victor coming flying in there. He obviously wanted a piece of that, and well, he got a piece. But I'm not sure going through the middle 3 wide was probably the wisest of decisions. Everybody's still running, but yeah, let's just take a quick look at that back again. Maybe go on board.
Yeah, he sort of had it done, and then just made another turn to the left. From there on in, all went wrong for him. Well, both of them, really.
Oh yeah. I don't think he could have done anything different, but it was always a gap that was going to shrink, unfortunately. There was nowhere he could go. I take it back, Victor. Just at the speed that he was coming in there, it was just all he could do was just try and avoid them, and yeah, they were too busy trying to gather the car up more than anything.
And that's 2 incidents in the last couple of laps. It's just spread out the field a little bit more. And Alice Jr. and Preta now 18 and 25 seconds behind the leader respectively.
And Ficara was having a little look on Yatsenko again. Unable to progress forward. It looks like Yatsenko dropped back a little bit from Oliveira as well. He's in danger of dropping out of the DRS zone right now. Nine-tenths of a second. Needs a good final sector here just to make sure that he's still in that zone. Oh, that is very close. 9.98 as he goes across the DRS detection zone, so he just about gets it. He needed that as well. He'd have been vulnerable from Ficara had he missed that. Wensin's starting to look a bit strong as well. He's caught on up to the back of Zoran. what we have now is all of basically the championship contenders forming up on track, which is just what we want to see.
Yeah, it's good to see, and it'll spice up the competition a little bit. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to maybe seeing Venter moving a little bit further up as the race goes on. We know he's a very strong driver. If we can just sort out his fuel issues. Yeah, only half a second behind Zoran Janic at the moment. But you have to say, Marin Kolak at the front, cleared by nearly 5 seconds, having an amazing drive, isn't he?
Yeah, I just got that lead off the start and just not looked back really. We know that Marin's quick. He's not in the World Championship for no reason, and he's had fairly strong season. I mean, he's had a few issues in a couple of races, and had some really strong finishes as well. So yeah, definitely a driver that's going to be returning next season, I'm sure.
Sorry, Alex. I think it's just gone deep into turn 1. He's going to come under pressure from Ficarra as they come down on the run to turn 4. Ficarra's got the inside, and he makes that look easy. He just needs to make sure he gets a decent exit. That's moved done. Yeah, it's Ficarra up into 4th place.
Although Yasenko tries to go around the outside, he's got to watch that because that can make him vulnerable to Zoran. Oh, still fighting around. That is impressive. Very impressive to get back around the outside. Ficarra's still there. He's not giving this up. Dives up the inside, still side by side. Who's going to get the best?
Oh, there we go.
They've come together. I think they're all okay. Zoran obviously takes up the lead in that little group. Ficarra seems okay. Just a little coming together. That was good hard racing there, nothing but a racing incident unfortunately. Winston of course will get a run on Ficarra here. Is he going to do a late move? Round the outside is going to have to be. Ficarra carries a lot of speed into that corner, holds on to that position for now.
I don't think any of those two drivers did anything particularly wrong there. There was it was one of those crashes with a bit of clean air between the two cars, a bit of a crash prediction from iRacing. That's a bit unfortunate. It was a really good little fight up until then.
Yeah, I didn't actually. Was there a little gap between them? Was there?
Yeah, a little bit of net going on.
That's always unfortunate, especially when it ruins what was such a great battle for pretty much a whole lap. They were side by side. Yeah. Fortunately, Yatsenko's still there. I mean, he's he's still able to fight back. I'm just looking at him now. I want to see if he's got any kind of wing damage. If he is, then it's going to force him into definitely into a no-stop race. Although I think that's pretty much what it is. There looks like there's a little bit. We know this car is okay if you've got a tiny little bit of damage. It affects your straight line speed marginally, but actually through the corners, it doesn't make a great deal of difference.
Yeah, Ficarra's car looks okay as well. There's a little bit of sidepod damage, so it's nothing that should hamper him too much.
Kroll moves himself up another position again, so he's fighting back strong at the moment after that turn 1 incident. Back up into 11th place. Great lap times as well. Quick enough to sort of get himself back in towards and around that top 5 area. I think if he can just carry on pushing the way he is right now. And that's Kevin Ellis Jr. putting a move on. I think it's Andre. Doesn't quite get it done. I'd be disappointed to be down in 15th place, of course.
Oh, we've had one casualty so far, and I think we missed Fabrizio Garbi is back in the pits. He lost the back end coming through turn 1 and subsequently donated some car parts to the barrier on the inside. So yeah, he's out of the car. I think that's race over for him.
First retirement then, unfortunate for him. Of course, Gobby in 4th place in the championship right now. Hadn't got any points for this week, so this was really his one shot at it. But unfortunately, of course, we do have drop rounds. They will come into play.
So we're coming just up to the end of lap 15, and for anybody that's thinking about possibly, thinking about making a pit stop, what's the sort of pit window they're looking at?
Yeah, I would think anytime from about lap 20, I think would be reasonable, and gives them 27 laps afterwards. Try and make that undercut work, of course.
Saying all of that, Gerlach's last lap was 1 minute 12.5 in comparison to his base lap, which is 1 minute 12.4. So no real drop off to speak of at the moment.
I think with these cold conditions, that's exactly what we're going to see. A very, very little drop off. If they do go for a no stop, there will be some. A little mistake there for Ragusa. Thought for a moment Oliveira was going to try and pounce. Closer than he has been, 0.2 of a second back. He's got that DRS in effect. I thought for a moment he was going to get to the inside first. He doesn't. He's going to have to go around the outside, maybe try and cut back. And Ragusa holds on for another lap. Oh no! Oliveira, perhaps a little bit of impatience starting to creep in. He had a little look through that long right hander. Never easy to get anything done through there. All the time they fight, you've got Zoran and Ficara coming back at them as well. 0.2 quicker that lap. They're only 1.6 seconds back. Winston still struggling with internet issues out there. You could just see in the background his car just sort of morphing all over the place as it was appearing and reappearing, or disappearing and reappearing even. Again, Oliveira using the DRS to get close into turn 1. Needs to nail the exit here. I tell you, Ragusa looks very, very good through the exit of turn 3.
You're gonna have a...
Yeah, keeps lining that up, but not making anything happen.
Watching these guys go around and throwing dummies here and there, it's almost like a game of chess. The guy behind us sort of just showing his car at the most inopportune moment to see if he can coax the guy in front into a mistake.
Kevin Ellis Jr. just moves himself up a spot. So just trying to recover. That's 14th place for him. Victor recovering as well. These guys were involved together. Victor, I thought, was the one that come off much worse on that. I thought Kevin was able to sort of continue to some degree, so I'm surprised to see them on the same bit of track. Maybe Kevin had a bit more damage than we thought. Victor with the run.
Yeah, Kevin Ellis Jr. is lapping 2 or 3 tenths off his fastest lap at the moment, where Victor is more than half a second off his fast lap. So possibly Victor just carrying a bit more damage than Kevin Ellis Jr. from that exchange.
Yeah,
actually. In saying that, he's just overtaking Kevin Ellis Jr.
Yeah, back past again, using the DRS to full effect. I think these guys are going to be set for pretty much a race-long battle. And just like we thought might happen as well, Zoran and Ficara into that DRS zone. She just lost the not particularly good final sector there. This is going to be close to whether or not they're going to get it. I think they're just going to miss it this time. But they're edging closer. Ficara maybe will have a run this time. See, this seems a little too far back.
Wow, Ficara running way deep into turn 1, nearly making contact with the backside of Zoran Jonic. They're really lucky to escape with any contact there. And luckily it hasn't cost him too much either. He's still within striking distance of Jonic.
And Jonic as well got the DRS that time, going down out of turn 3 to 4. So they're there. Needs to nail this lap. That's going to put a bit more pressure under Diego. He's had about 7 or 8 laps really where he's not had to worry too much what was going on behind. He could focus on ahead, and he hasn't been able to get past Giuseppe. He's been defending well. He really needs to nail it.
Yeah, it just seems like Oliveira's challenge is petered out a little bit for the time being. He's not as close into turn 1 and turn 4 as it's been on previous laps. And with the DRS and them slowing up a little bit, you've got Justin Hope in 8th place, who's slowly but surely making his way up to the back of Yatsenko as well.
Yeah, and consider he was at the he was just behind Ragusa and Oliveira when he made his little mistake. So he's got extremely great pace out there right now, and I think yeah, the more I look at this, he could work his way through this whole field. Although they all seem to be holding each other up now. Ficarra just 3 tenths behind. Zoran and Wensin 3 tenths behind him as well. These three just they've been pretty inseparable all race. Zoran just struggling to really close in on Diego. I think he's got half an eye, perhaps looking behind him what Ficarra is doing.
Yeah, you do well just to concentrate on Oliveira in front of him, try and get to within that 1 second before become massively vulnerable from a Ficarra behind. She's got everybody. Got Ragusa in 2nd place and going all the way down to Justin Hope in 8th place, and they're all separated by only 4 seconds.
Bedouin Kroll, I think, going to pick up another spot here, move himself inside the top 10 as he uses the DRS to pass Marquez straight through. It's a shame he had his incident on turn 1, I have to say, because his pace has been very, very strong as well. I think he'd have been right up there. So yeah, 20 seconds behind the leader, and only 10 behind Ragusa in 2nd. So you just think where he would have been without that spin, that put him sort of 10 seconds back. I think he'd have been right in the mix of this sort of P2 battle.
Yeah, and even in clean, he's all matching Kolak for lap times. Bedouin Kroll, obviously, he's got the fastest lap of the race so far with 1 minute 12.3, but I suspect there was a bit of DRS assistance in there as well. But he's got a sort of 7-second gap to Justin Hope at the moment. He's got a bit of clean air without any traffic in between. So we'll see how.
Into the pits for Zoran. I'm shocked. I have to say, I would have thought everybody would have been trying to eke it out here. Although with this, this is one track where a real undercut can work. It's such a short pit lane. You get your stop done pretty quickly. You enter so fast. You get out nice and quickly as well. That pit lane is short, and you back up to full speed. Of course, you cut a little bit of the track out. So yeah, let's see how far this is going to put him back.
Oh, we've got Velosa in the pits as well.
Yeah, so a few drivers jumping in. I would have thought the tyres would last. It doesn't look like the times are falling off, so I really am I'm surprised by the jump. I think Zoran probably feels like he might benefit from trying this strategy. Nobody else does it. He's going to have a hard time in trying to work his way through the traffic. Wensin closing in on Ficarra. Wensin has done 8 races already this season as well. Currently sat in 9th place in the championship. Got some great points. He really, a few good races. P2. Potential change. No, Oliveira can't get past once again. Has to sort of concede going through turn 4. Just can't seem to make that outside line work. Doesn't seem to be able to force Ragusa into making a mistake, perhaps going in a bit deep trying to defend the line, cut back or anything like that. Nothing's happening.
And we've got a few guys making it into the pits now. Martinez is in, has made a pit stop. Vladimir has been in the pits. Yeah, we mentioned Filosa and Ruslan Savitov in there as well. He's had a lengthy pit stop. He had a nose change to go with the tyres.
Yeah, Victor as well. Both of them sort of 8.8 and 10.2. Savitov as well, 9 seconds. So yeah, not ideal. I wonder if Vedron will try and throw a curveball and go with a no stop, because his pace is still 12.6, but he's still lapping far quicker than sort of P2 right now. I think if he can, as he just has a little lockup going into turn 1, just have to feel that, you know, maybe that curveball strategy might just might work for him.
Eisenlohr into the pits as well. To be honest, first flying lap after coming out of pits, 12.7. Not really any quicker than anybody in front of him.
I mean, Filosa, who has been in a lap, was it a lap earlier, 2 laps earlier? He's 12.3, so he's lapping a bit quicker. So maybe, maybe Zoran just needs to get those tyres, just sort of get those pressures equalised out a bit. So maybe lap 2. Again, it's what we touched on earlier on in qualifying. We were saying about the cold track. Obviously, once you get that fresh rubber, you're used to driving on tyres that are old and perhaps a little slippy. All of a sudden, you got some new boots on, and you just don't get absolute the best out of them. Marin's still just ticking away out the front. That's an 11.1 second lead right now. So, unless something major happens with some back markers or anything like that, I think it's going to be very difficult for anyone to beat Marin today.
I think I like this move from Zoran Janic. He's sat in 9th place now. It's where he started the race. So any positions he makes up from here on in is basically going to be a bonus. And he's got, like with Vedran Kral, he's got a bit of clean air in front of him. That last lap he did was at 12.2, and Filosa did 12.2 as well. So those two putting the 2 fastest laps of the race so far.
Yeah, you're right. It might be it might all come together at the end. We've seen, haven't we, time and time again. It's those last 6 or 7 laps that, you know, really challenges the drivers on those worn tyres. So what might only be 0.8 of a second now closure could be 1.5, 1.6 towards the end.
Yeah, and look, they're not going to be fighting for the win. Unless Kolak makes a massive mistake. So they may name, they're going to be looking from positions 2 through to possibly 5 or 6. So from his point of view, I think it was a risk worth taking. Although that last lap was only at 12.5, still quicker than most people in front of him. It's only Vensing that matched him. Oliveira did a 12.4. And as they get closer to the end of the race, you can embed that group of Ragusa, Oliveira, Ficara, Vensing, Yatsenko. They're all going to start fighting hard, and that might just give the likes of Vedran Kral and Zoran Janic the opportunity to close up a little bit more.
Yeah, I tell you what, I do think Kral's going to get back to these guys. I mean, he's got a 6.2 second gap, but I think by the end of the race, he's going to be there. Those lap times consistently quicker at the moment, so. As soon as these guys start to battle, when they get into the position where they're really close again, just all separated by 0.4 of a second. Also, we do see the DRS train. Justin has joined the party as well. Sorry, no, that's Yatsenko, isn't it? My mistake. Just see the little bit of damage on the front of Yatsenko's wing there, on his nose. Perhaps just keeping him from getting right tucked up behind these guys, Wensing closer than he's ever been.
Sebastiano Filosa absolutely flying at the moment. Just set another fastest lap with 1 minute 12.0.
Yeah, ballistic. Gonna have to disable my fastest lap thing on the screen because it's just not working at all. But yeah, indeed. So yeah, 12.032, fantastic lap time from him. Oliveira 0.3 of a second behind, coming out of the final turn. Surely this time he's going to get close enough to have a run. 0.2. Ragusa going defensive round the outside for Oliveira. He's gone in very, very deep, too deep once again. Almost makes himself vulnerable to Ficarra, although he will have the DRS to help defend. And just see him deploying that push to pass button as well, just to make sure that he doesn't come under too much pressure.
Yeah, Veteran Crawl only 9.5 seconds behind this battle. Zoran Jonic was his fastest lap of the race as well, 12.1, and you can just they're lapping in the low 1:12s. Some of the guys that decided to make that pit stop, while the likes of Ragusa, Oliveira, and Ficarra, the lap times are just starting to creep more towards the 1:13s.
Yeah, so definitely starting to close back in. Zoran seems to be, let's just try and work that out, 17 seconds back, so he's closed in 3 seconds. I mean, it's not a great deal since his pit stop. Oh, this is close up ahead. We were on board with Ficarra watching this time. Has Oliveira managed to make it stick? I think he might have done. He has. That's a great move. He's going to instantly come back under pressure, but Ficarra wants to take Ragusa at the same time.
Yeah, Vensing is right there just behind him as well.
From attack to defence in the blink of an eye. That's the trouble. This is what some of the drivers have been talking about. These, you know, the DRS trains become very, very frustrating when you're the third man in the line. But a mistake from Ragusa puts him wide, and Ficarra just deep slips up the inside, just about manages to hold on to it. And Wenstin tried to go around the outside, doesn't happen. Ragusa back up the inside.
Oh, and Yatsenko joins the party. He's through on Wensing. And what has happened for Giuseppe Ragusa on the last lap?
Yeah, Ragusa's just, well, he dropped to A place, but 2 seconds that he loses on Oliveira, so he hasn't been able to fight back, and he's into the pits. Yeah, he's decided, just cooked his tyres. Can happen. Yatsenko looking on Ficarra. Wenstin trying to get a move done as well.
That's a very late call for Ragusa.
Yeah, exactly. Just 17 laps he's going to do on those tyres, so perhaps he felt that he just smoked him a little bit on that lap, and you know what it's like when they just get too hot. It's so difficult to bring them back.
And you can just exactly see how much that cost him. He was running in second place, and Zoran Jonic with the fresher tyres has gained that place over him, and he's clear by about 6 seconds as well.
Yeah, so he won't come under too much pressure, I don't think. His times will be quick enough. Nothing really going on further back, so we'll just stay keeping an eye on this this little battle. Ficarra seems to be scrambling away from Yatsenko here as well, now that he's towards the front of this little pack.
One of Veteran Crawls had just a mistake or two somewhere. Yeah, with this big battle going on for second place, he hasn't closed up to them at all. In fact, the gap's a little bit bigger. It's up to 10.5 seconds, where it was just under 10 seconds a few laps ago.
Little mistake there for Yatsenko. You're right, because he was closing in pretty rapidly, but only sort of 13s. Wenstin round the outside. Oh god, he almost got squeezed off the track there by Yatsenko. These guys have come together already once this season, so no love lost between them whatsoever. And yeah, that's on the very verge of forcing a driver off the circuit. Just left an inch or so spare room.
Vensing are really struggling to get through turn 6 as well. The car's sliding towards the outside of the track. I said, this kind of battling. It's this kind of battling that's just going to send that tyres to the point where somebody like Jonic just made a pit stop is going to give him the opportunity to maybe have a real go at some of the guys that's a little bit closer to the likes of just now, maybe venting towards the end of the race.
Velosa closing in on Kevin Ellis Jr. We're just seeing this on screen right now.
You can see from Oliveira's lap times as well, he was definitely being held up. He's still lapping in 1 minute 12s now that he's been released. Whereas the Yatsenko 1 minute 13.2 last lap around, Vensing 1 minute 13.5, up in the 13th as well, so is Kral. Jonic with a 12.4 and Ragusa, his fastest lap of the race, with a 12.2.
Velosa made that one look easy. The extra traction, the overdrive there of the DRS is up and clear.
So I think there's a couple of guys out there, like I said, Yatsenko and it just looks like Venting, they're just starting to struggle a little bit with as they come up to 15 laps to go. Oh, and Kral, something's happened to him. Dran Jonic is through on him.
Let's have a little look back on replay, just see if we can see what it was, because you're right, he's just dropped a whole load of time. Must have been the previous lap.
Lap 32, just as they were coming through, was it turn 7 and 8, tight twisty section. Yeah, he just got in the power a little bit too easy, rear tyres let go and he spun it.
Yeah, everyone's struggling, and of course instantly spins the car back around to, and that just heats the tyres up even more. And yeah, you have to wait a good half a lap just to get the power back down. A 120 lap time. Yeah, I just can't see Zoran making it back up to Ficara and the likes who he was racing with. Got 14 laps to do it. Long way to go. Even if they do start battling.
Yeah, maybe it's also a case of knowing what you're capable of with the car and the tyres, and making that decision early enough, just to play it safe. Make sure you get to the end of the race. And it's certainly not if you Jonic up to 7th now after starting 9th position. It's certainly not a result if he finishes in the same position to be disappointed with. Especially considering where he sat in the overall standings in the championship at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. A good points finish today would have been just what he needed if he's, if he could have managed to stay out there. I mean, he was the, made the call. Just him and Velosa made that call really early, and some of the others have just sort of been forced into doing the one stop. So we talked about it at the start of the race. We thought honestly the best strategy with that cold track temperature was going to be a no stop. It looks like Marin's going for a no stop. Clearly just cruising away out there now. 12.8 lap for him that last time by, so no issues whatsoever. Good consistency.
And everybody from Oliveira down to Justin, I hope, is spread out a little bit as well. As apart from Yatsenko and Vensing, that's been glued to each other for pretty much the whole race. Yeah, they sort of have one good lap, one bad lap. The previous lap, everybody from 3rd place down to 6th place was well into the 1 minute 13s. This time around, Yatsenko and Vensing has managed to post a lap time of 12 minute 0.7 and 8. Justin Hope though with a 13.6. Jonic is closing in really quick on him, so there's going to be a battle there, I suspect, before the end of the race. Gap between them is only about 6 seconds.
Yeah, definitely. Long way to go. We'll keep an eye on that one, and as that starts to form up, switch over. Ragusa closing in on Kroll as well. That's a 7 or 8 tenths that last lap. Kroll's lap times really dropped off after that spin. Was able to run sort of consistently in the 12s, now in the 13s. 11 laps to go. I'm surprised by the the lack of overtaking. Actually, clearly Oliveira was being held up, but just couldn't get by, and by Ragusa. And I really thought, the huge long straights that we have here, it would have been able to do it. I mean, I guess that's probably just a testament to Giuseppe, the way he was driving and defending out there.
Yeah, I think for some reason, whatever car it is, we see it in the GT3s as well, that just how difficult overtaking is around Interlagos. And I suspect maybe it's because of the high speed that you enter some of the straights. There's no real heavy braking zones that comes just before a big straight. And the DRS zone around John, the start finish is not that long either. You get it just before the pit entry.
Kroll spins again, unfortunately, so I think his tyres are done. Just like I say, once you just cook them once, it's so difficult to bring the temperatures back down. Vladimir having a little look here on Kevin Ellis Jr. Vladimir obviously on fresh tyres, gets that move done into turn 1. Kevin gets a better run out of the exit. Will he be able to fight straight back instantly? Oh, I'm not so sure. Seemed a little bit nervous on exit. And you got Martinez as well, just behind them, just waiting. So we're looking at, what's this, his 11th, 12th and 13th now out there, so all separated by, well, yeah, not much, they're all on one shot.
Yeah, all the way everything is tightening up a little bit at the front as well. You've got Ficara, Yatsenko and Venter, covered by 2 seconds, so that's shaping up nicely as we enter the final part of the race. Only 10 laps left now.
Marquez surely on Kevin Ellis Jr. this time, 10th of a second back as they go across the start finish line, late on the brakes. Nothing Kevin can do. Concedes another position, moves him down to 12th place, so the little spin really did hurt him. Got Victor, who he was racing with earlier on. He's only 7 seconds back, so yeah, it's not been great for Kevin. 14.2 that lap as well.
Yeah, Victor, of course, on the fresher tires as well, and yeah, 9.5 laps left. The 2 guys in front of Kevin Ellis Jr., Martinez and Vladimir. The next guy in front of them is veteran Kroll, who's had a bit of a woeful race, really. Not a great race for him so far. So yeah, they're going to close up to him really quickly as well. Only 2 seconds behind him, 2.5 seconds behind him at the moment.
Having a look if anything else is going on. Really, the separation's just pretty extreme now. Nothing going out there at all. I think even Wensin's dropped out of the DRS zone now of Yatsenko.
Yeah, we're just coming into that little period before we get into the final 5 or 6 laps. We've got 8.5 laps left in the race, and it's I think it's shaping up nicely. We've got Ficara, Yatsenko and Venter all in close proximity to each other. Justin Hope is going to come under pressure from Soren Jonic very soon. that gap has come down to only 1.8 seconds.
Talk about our leader for a moment. He hasn't had an awful lot of airtime because he's been out there just trundling around on his own. But yeah, great performance. No issues whatsoever.
Yeah, the most pressure Marin has come under this entire race was into turn 1, and got through there cleanly, and it's just sort of been a leisurely Sunday afternoon drive for him, really.
Yeah, just looking at his lap time, it's still 12.6, so you know, really has had very, very minimal tyre fall off. So it just goes to show when you haven't been put under too much pressure or anything else like that, you can hold on to those tyres. And I tell you what, had Diego not been held up off the you know, behind Giuseppe, then maybe, you know, these two might have had a bit of a race, because he's a tiny bit slower, but not much. I think with the you know, with DRS, those 2 DRS zones helping him, might have gained that extra time back. So yeah, I think unfortunately we were probably robbed of a very good race at the front there. But yeah, Oliveira certainly 2 weeks in a row now scoring extremely good points. Got 4 weeks to try and make up the deficit, so you never know, you might see him towards the end of the season right at the top.
Yeah, he certainly had the pace today to keep Marin yeah, honest at the very least. But yeah, it's just there's a bunch of laps where he was stuck in 3rd place. That did cost him a lot of time, and we did see his lap times improve massively once he got released from that fight.
Zoran closed right in on Justin now as well, so I think this will be a pretty much a formality once it happens coming out of that final turn.
And I love when we see this, see little fights like this developing between the one stoppers and the no stoppers, and it just goes to show as well how well the fresher tires work on iRacing.
I take it back. All of a sudden, Zoran doesn't get the huge run, so Justin must have saved up a fair amount of ERS, or perhaps Zoran was saving it for this turn 3 exit here.
Yeah, it makes that look easy. Doesn't he needs to negotiate? He will come under. Well, he was gonna come under pressure out of turn 4, but Justin Hope just getting a little side wiggle on, managed to save it.
I'm trying to remember where Zoran was when he pitted. I think he was about 5th, was he?
I think he was just in front of Ficarra at the time.
Yeah,
Ficarra managed to pass him. Yeah, it was around 5th or 6th, I think.
So in the end, he sort of ended up where he was, but yeah, I think he had the pace to sort of stay in front of Yasenko and Ficarra. So yeah, perhaps be kicking himself maybe for that tyre choice. Not going to move any further forward. 5.6 seconds is the gap. Sorry, we're jumping around all over the place here on different cars. Yasenko in 4th. These will be good points. Just try and consolidate his position. Will it improve? I'm not sure.
Ragusa's through on Justin Hope as well. And Giuseppe Ragusa has been putting some blistering lap times since his pit stop.
Yeah, 12.3 even with the overtake, I think there.
Yeah, and I think if he just managed to maybe make that call to come into the pits a little bit earlier, if he was dead set on a one stopper, he could have ended up with the likes of Venting again. But I mean, he was running in second place when he pitted, and he came out 6 seconds behind Zoran Jonic. So that period between when Jonic and Ragusa pitted did cost him a whole bunch of time.
Yeah, exactly. You've got, if you're gonna have a tyre stop work, you have to do it early enough that the you can utilise the undercut and the fresher rubber and Yeah, unfortunately for Ragusa, just left it far too late.
Looking at the gap that Oliveira's got to third place Ficarra, that's 5 seconds. So I don't think Ragusa would have made his way up to there, but he's certainly out of pace, or would have had the pace to rejoin that fight for third place.
Just looking at Vladimir closing in on Kroll. Kroll still hasn't pitted, so I think... Oh, Kroll makes a big mistake. Gets himself out of the way. That's probably going to open it up for Marquez to have a little look on Vladimir going into turn 4. Doesn't this time. Kroll and Victor as well. Victor up and through and past. The veteran did all that hard work to fight his way back up through this pack, stay on the same set of tyres, and I tell you, it's just killed him. Absolutely. So, such potential for his race. That first spin. Oh, and his tyres are just gone. You can see him again. He's all over the shop. Kevin Ellis Jr. up and through. And Kevin's not pitted either, so that just goes to show what kind of state tyres are for Vedran right now. Velosa on hope. Justin concedes that position in turn 1. I think he can do again with the worn out rubber. Velosa made that pit stop quite early, and he's been one that's actually definitely benefited, because I think he was like 10th or 11th we were talking about him being before the pit stop phase. And here he is now, right up there in 8th place. So that's definitely worked for him. He really jumped in early.
I think most of the guys saw in the top 8 has made the right calls for their respective races today. And they only see Oliveira, he's lost 1 place since the start of the race, and Ragusa's down 3 places. The rest of them have all they're running better than where they started. Filosa's up 3 places, Yoni's up 3 places, well, Venting is up 5, and Yatsenko and Ficarra both made up 2 places on their starting position.
I just think Yatsenko's just not got enough straight line speed to be able to do anything with Ficarra ahead of him. He's got that damage on the front nose. I think that's just hurting him just a fraction. And even with the DRS and ERS, he's just not able to close up and get alongside. Just 1.5 laps to go for our leader. Closing in on a little bit of traffic out there now. That's Sabatov. First person heel lap, so just goes to show actually is a pretty tidy grid out there, as not sure he'll get up to him as well, so every car still on the lead lap. That's good to see.
Yeah, Ruslan, we're used to him running further up the field week in and week out. He's not really had a good one today, has he?
No, not so much at all. So long pit stop for him as well, 9 seconds. It's just all gone against him really today. But yeah, a man who hasn't had any issues whatsoever, so that's our leader right now. Just watch him round as he finishes this this lap. Made it too easy, Maron. Should have had should have stuck back in the pack a little bit. Got a bit more airtime for your sponsors.
Somebody should have taken some sticky tape and stuck that flap to his rear wing. Not that I think that he used the DRS all that much, if at all, today.
I think you're right. Even here, if he opens it, I think would be about the only time.
And so he does.
Comes across the line, takes that victory. Then Diego Oliveira is going to come across in second, 12.1 seconds back on the live timing. That's pretty decent result. I think he'll be happy with that to finish that far behind Maron, and the lap times at the end were very, very good. Ficarra is going to hold on to the final podium spot. Yatsenko takes 4th. Wenson's going to come in 5th. He dropped back a little bit. very close, but yeah, Jonich takes that as well, so 6th place. So yeah, just sort of stayed where he was. Ragusa really lost out with that pit stop. Veloso across. I think we have Martinez close to Justin, but I think Justin will hold on to this, assuming he's got enough ERS and everything else like that, and he does. Kevin Ellis Jr. and veteran Kroll. Kroll managed to get back past Kevin, so just managed to get the temperatures down on the tyres just to hold on and move a place further forward. So, but still, yeah, not the finish that he would have wanted. Alright, take us through those final standings if you would.
I just see Rosman Sabitov finally crossing the line. We have Marin Kolak taking the win today with a very good drive, finishing 12.1 seconds in front of second place man Diogo Oliveira. Third place was Massimiliano Ficara. Fourth place Slava Yatsenko. Daniel Vensing in fifth place. Then we've got Zoran Jonic in sixth. Giuseppe Ragusa in seventh. Sebastiano Velosa in eighth place. Vladimir came home in ninth with Justin Hope in 10th place. Jorge Martinez in 11th, Victor Prieta in 12th, Veteran Kral in 13th, 14th was Kevin Ellis Jr., 15th Andre Eisenlaw, 16th place Razan Sabitov, and then we only had the one retirement today, which was Fabrizio Gobbi.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. Well, thank you, Conrad. Another great race. I think we expected a little bit more. It's sort of strung out a bit. It's the first time this season we haven't had people, proper changing places towards the end at the, towards the front. But yeah, it was a good drive from Oliveira to get second. Like I say, that's going to be great for his championship. Trying to see if we can get the update on the points. I don't think it's going to be that quick, but we'll wait. We'll do a refresh.
Yeah, I think we got a little bit done over by the cooler track temperatures today, and the fact that preserved the tires so well. And we were discussing it before the race with how the hotter temperatures will affect the cars, and unfortunately we didn't get that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, no, the tables haven't updated yet. So we will call it a day here at Interlagos. But thank you everybody for joining in. It's been been enjoyable Sunday afternoon. Getting to the business end of the season now, where people are just trying to get rid of their drop weeks and whatnot. So we'll have to keep a close eye on how the table shapes up. But again, thank you very much for joining in, Conrad. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Oh, it's nice to be here once again, and really looking forward to Silverstone next weekend.
Yeah, Silverstone is going to be great. Again, another tricky one to overtake. 2 DRS zones going down into Stowe Corner and into Abbey as well. So it'll be interesting to see how effective they are. Pretty short, I would have to say. So I would have thought maybe one into to Cops would have worked, but yeah. I always go on my little rage to get the new circuit. Come on, let's get it done. That one down the Willerton Straight would be much more effective. So,
well, they have scanned it. They just need to build it.
Yeah, come on, let's have it. Right, thank you, buddy. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you in a week's time for Silverstone and the iRacing Grand Prix Series.